hi.
Hey! How's it going, everyone? We are the Raconteur Society here again on a Tuesday night to make you question your sanity. We are geeks past our peaks that have been throwing dice together since the 1980s. And tonight we're going to be playing Deadlands Classic. And we're actually continuing a module that we've been playing in Deadlands Classic called the Canyon of Doom.
Canyon of Doom.
Doom.
Can of Doom.
Not Victor.
Announcements tonight. First, we want to give a big, huge thank you to Andrew from Guitar Center.
Yay.
Who came through for us again for some microphone and a couple other things. Make sure you check them out. You can get the Guitar Center that Andrew works at is at 2601 West Lake Avenue in Peoria, Illinois. So go there, check out Andrew, tell him the Raconteur Society sent you. He'll probably quickly show you the door and tell you where else to go. Well, the next Syndicate Pathfinder broadcast will be May 7th at 6 p.m., so make sure you check that out when you get a chance. It'll be on Twitch only. We won't be broadcasting on any other platforms, just on Twitch. So,
But it will be on YouTube.
Hi, Shay-Bay.
But it will be on YouTube once it's been shown. So. Yes. Hey, Shay-Bay. And don't forget, folks, Planet Funk Con is coming.
Yeah. And coming.
Hold on.
2 months.
That was weird. Anyway.
Coming. It's not even hard.
And we're going to be there in a little bit more of our situation. We're going to be doing a show this year, and we'll have our booth like usual. So make sure you check out Planet Funk Con, happening June 27th through the 29th at the River Center in Davenport, Iowa. You can get more information at planetfunkcon.com.
You guys are on Whitaker's Walk, and you basically just took out a bunch of
Priests.
Lost Angels priests.
Cultists.
Yeah, and
2 minor demons.
yep, some bloody ones is what they're called.
Fresh out of the can.
Yeah.
Fresh out of the can.
And just as you guys were like, what the heck is next? You notice that
We find
Dr.
out.
Haskins and Sophie are kind of in the middle, and he's wearing the artifact. One of the bloody ones one of the cultists ripped his shirt open. You can see he's wearing that artifact around his neck, the necklace that was found with the General Powell or Major Powell's stuff from the expedition before, so it doesn't get stolen or lost. He wanted to keep it with him. Well, as it was exposed, something jumped off a rooftop and you heard wings flapping, and you've heard about this thing, and now you're seeing it full on. A demon. I mean, an honest-to-goodness demon out of the books, out of the descriptions, red skin, horns, bestial-looking face, huge jagged teeth, and big talons, and as he comes down...
Yes,
zombie, a full frontal.
Straight on us.
Full frontal.
Big demon wang flapping at us the whole bit.
It's like bad hentai.
He's got tentacles.
Or good hentai.
Or good hentai, yeah.
So, if you guys want, we will pick up where we left off with quickness rolls.
All right, quickness.
Come on, baby.
Hey, Pop.
Give me some 10s.
Give me more than... Ouch. Did these botch? These do botch.
If you roll more ones than successes,
Success.
I'll go out. Nothing.
what's your highest roll?
It's a 3, a 1, and a 1.
Oh.
Yeah, you went bust.
Oh, that's the black joker.
Oh, wait, here we go.
Give me that card back.
You can have all the cards.
Robert Pope is here.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
All good here, he says.
What did Zombie Jesus say? Something like that. Thank you. Thank you,
Oh,
folks.
that's right. You gotta...
I only had 1 card.
Yeah.
So,
So-
he's sitting out this
All
time.
together, so.
All
Can I
right.
just give him a card?
Can you give me a card? It's me and you again. That...
Okay,
My fault. I shuffled them.
so aces.
Oh, it's good.
Ace.
Let me get the I gotta get the cards up. Hold on.
I'm going to give it a go. Chest.
Okay, are you going to shout that out?
Yep.
Chest?
Yep.
Okay, so...
Calvin just shouts out, chest! And takes aim.
Okay.
And I look at my boots.
Poker!
I was too. Wait, I mean...
Chest! Oh, shoot him in the poker. Which...
Backgammon!
Shoot him in the back?
I'm gonna-
Gammon?
Burn that as a hold.
Nope. Keep it.
Keep it? Okay.
Because that's a hold, so you're at +2. That way you can keep track of how many.
Right.
So that was aces.
Mhm.
Kings.
Right here, king.
Chest!
Copperhead aims for the chest.
Actually, I'm going to put that one... Or no. does that count as an extra 2? Or do I put that up my sleeve?
Nope, that's another. So now you're at +4.
Okay.
I am going to cast a spell.
Oh boy.
Yep,
should
it's
aim
always
your gun.
good, isn't it?
You should aim your gun.
Hey, you almost knocked,
He's aiming his
almost knocked
fingers.
us all out last time.
I know, but that was last time.
This is a whole new day.
Ooh,
Not bad.
see an ace.
Got a full hand there, boy.
Something's high.
Well, I got a pair.
A pair ace high.
I got a pair. That's all I got out of all that was a
Wait.
pair.
Oh no, I mean, aces aren't wild, are they?
No,
No.
Just jokers.
just jokers.
King, queen.
So he takes a D6.
Okay,
So you kind of
Soul Blast.
tickled him.
Yep, I can't give him
I know Dale was happy I stopped complaining.
Yeah.
Are you happy now?
And I'm just looking. I don't think
Are you?
armor affects it.
No, armor doesn't affect Soul
So
Blast.
they take a D6, but probably won't do anything unless an ace. Because they're a big
Keep
old
acing.
sucker.
Acing. 5 aces.
Get it, man, get it. Oh! This is our OnlyFans.
One.
All that shaking up.
There's our huckster, ladies and gentlemen.
Talk about Bo underperforming.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a misfire.
You notice as the demon is coming down, he's got this nasty little wart with a hair in it, and the hair just singes off, and he's like, ooh,
Why, thank you, sir.
Kinky.
You're welcome.
now I'm sexy.
I'm glad I'm an invaluable part of this community.
Yes,
Bobby didn't
all right.
get any cards. And,
Bo did not draw his
Brad's
gun. He
some balls.
shot a whisker off of the demon, so
And
What?
Oh, he's not gonna live this one down.
he didn't draw his gun. He's like, chest, and Kelvin's like aiming at the chest. Copperhead aims at the chest, and he's like, phew, got that whisker. And everybody's like,
to my defense,
shoot him!
to my defense, it was irritating me, that thing flipping around as it talked. I will swallow your soul.
Well, maybe we're lucky.
Eyebrows or some shit.
Maybe we're lucky that we'll give him a Prince Albert.
Pierce. That was good.
That at least make him go, oh!
Yeah.
Shoink.
At least
Okay. I will get the other whisker.
go for the septum in his nose and put a ring around.
I got a 5.
Oh no.
Yeah, you got the other whisker.
He's a
What are you, a dermatologist?
Well, I've been trying this new thing with my black magic. It's called failure.
Well, shoot shaving is what it is.
Yep.
Jax, Copperhead aims and says, pull your damn gun!
I had another queen.
Oh, you had another queen. I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
That's all right.
But we can go ahead and use our Jax for aiming. So you are at +6 now.
Should I put this one up my sleeve or not?
Is that your third?
I have 2 jacks. Or two-
Okay. So when you put one Jack down, are you at +6?
And a joke.
2, 4, 6, yes.
And you can put that up your sleeve. And that will be the cue card to
Fire.
go.
That is the Black Joker.
It is the black joker.
Okay, we're not.
We'll hit your little thing.
Yep. Here you go.
Oh, you get a black Joker?
Yep.
Oh, I swear to God, I'm going to re-aim.
That's the third Black Joker since we started this encounter.
Hey, look, I opened it right to the page
Yeah, I
for
said
some
it's
reason.
worn out.
Yes.
I should just stop.
No such thing as failure, just learning to succeed. Yes, but the group will be dead by the time we get it figured out.
This is
Joke's
the
on
one
you.
that's going to
Dale,
cause us
finish the description.
backlash again.
Yeah, the Jacob's ladder.
I'm saying. I was reading
You ever thought about maybe
You guys
just
really
becoming a
talk
gambler
first
and
about
just stick to
I
cards?
should.
Yeah.
D20?
Yep, D20.
trouble in the first
2.
place.
Ooh, that's low at least.
Spiritual backhand. The Manitow deals a huckster a glancing blow. The huckster takes 2d6 points of damage to a random location.
Oh, shit.
10.
In the guts.
Right in the guts.
In the gizzards.
Yep.
Yep.
3.
No, just 2d6 points.
I roll or you roll?
I'll roll.
He can't shoot or squat, but his pan strong. Remember
Pull
that.
your damn. I think we're all going to take, besides taking a shot, scream at Bo to pull his gun.
And Manitow's like punching in the gut and he's like, you sucker.
Stop doing this.
5 points, so it doesn't do a wound.
All right. Oh!
But you feel like your heart skip a beat.
Yep.
Okay. Enough of that.
So are you doing some damage on it then?
Yes, I
like he
probably
is.
will now. So.
Finally, the damage.
So it did do it.
If you're continental, the damage.
From
Add them all up, right?
Yep.
It's 11, 20.
20. Nice.
Dang.
Okay.
Do you need a location?
Yep. Where do you hit him?
1. In the foot.
In the leg.
Toenail.
Gonna give him a pedicure.
Yeah, now it's time for his pedicure.
Lose his whiskers, you're not gonna lose a toe.
It's really gross. He had that ingrown toenail.
There you
It
go.
was all pussy. I had to get I'm trying to clean him up for the funeral. Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Should have just right the stuff
Ours?
explodes.
So you do a wound to his leg. His left leg.
Finally.
Oh! Whisker. Oh, hey now. He's like, now.
Starting to piss me off. You know how long I've been growing that toenail?
He takes out your shin.
All right. That was queens and jacks. 10s. 10.
Jeez, Mike.
Copperhead's like,
My arm's getting tired. No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody's on hold while Mike's here throwing out sparklies. And
Taking out shins and whiskering it.
Nope, nothing.
nothing. Okay. Waste of a card. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Could have pulled your gun.
Left.
Okay.
I did a wound.
That was 10s.
Yes.
9s.
9.
Okay. 9. Copperhead's going to need one more time. So he's a +6.
I got a diamond.
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm actually going to take out my other rifle, which has loaded with the
Ghost rock.
ghost rock
bullets? Okay.
ammunition. So
Okay. So that's your action.
that's my action.
8. 7.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I've also got an 8.
Okay.
So that's going to be 8.
Okay. So +2. 7. 6. What do you have?
6 of hearts.
6 of diamonds for the demon.
But I have a heart up my sleeve.
Well,
it doesn't matter. You beat him with that.
you beat him with that. So you can say fire
Fire!
and everybody take a shot.
By the way,
Wow!
all my pistols have ghost rock in them too.
Okay. So you three roll. Target number is going to be 5 to hit.
1 pop, 2 pop,
And
3
we'll do it.
pops.
We'll do it step at a time here. What's your highest?
21.
15.
Okay, 11 minus 2 because you were aiming for his chest.
2019.
13.
Okay, 9, and then add whatever you had. So you had +6. Copperhead +6. You have +2.
15.
20, so 19, 18, or 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Okay, and he had 9, 11, 13, 15. Okay, so everybody hit,
Okay.
right?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That was your attack roll.
What we had to hit? What was number?
Target number 5.
Oh, yeah, I got
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So
Now, do
You
they
didn't
use
need-
up their actions?
yes.
You guys are going out of turn.
So all these actions, all these aimings and stuff, you can discard them now.
Okay.
You will still have, if you have any action cards left after this, you'll still have actions, but
Right.
anything up to now,
I
you
just
can
got one
spend.
on my sleeve. So.
All right, so roll your damages. Everybody have your damage?
Yes,
What's your damage?
20.
25.
Ooh.
10 popped twice.
I saw that.
Yippee.
Good. His size is 12 in this form, so between
12.
all of you, you did 6 points of damage. Or 6 wounds.
6 wounds.
6.8 wounds, and 5 wounds is a maiming shot.
Oh, yeah!
So it took all of you doing that
5 is a what shot?
maiming shot,
Maiming
which
shot.
means,
We did one more than a maiming shot
yeah. So that's how much it took all of you guys to do
in order to
do this.
affect them. Sheesh.
And right about then, you see his stomach just tear open. A hole blows out of his back, and his intestines, which are like this black ichor like steaming, and his intestines slide out of his abdomen onto the ground. Where they hit the wood, you hear it sizzle, and there's steam coming up. And as he comes at you, they're like looping behind him, and he just has this and he goes right over your heads. I mean, you guys can actually like duck. He goes right over your heads for the railing, and goes right over the railing and drops. And as you do, you see those intestines like, pulling a rope.
Right.
His intestines are like, and they slide off after him, and he disappears. And there's a huge scorch mark on Whitaker's walk.
There's a stick of dynamite below him.
It already went off.
Oh, did it?
Vigor check. Everybody make a vigor check. Target number of... I'd say target number of...
I don't have to because I didn't see a thing.
No, you're doing it. Vigor check, target number of 5, please.
Made it.
I can never find the
14, I'm good.
Lower right.
But we just take the one highest dice, right?
Yep, highest die.
One highest dice. I made it.
I got 6. I'm sorry. What?
Target number 5. So, yeah, when that intestines hit the ground and start scorching, it's like sulfur and brimstone, really strong. So you're like, oh, nobody gags, nobody throws up, but it is like, oh man, that is strong. Even when his intestines follow him over the railing and like splatter and kind of.
Yep.
That smell is still there. And it's just like, but it's starting to fade.
Actually, I take position in front of the doctor and reload.
Okay. All right.
Just waiting for whatever else is coming.
Yep. You reload.
Are there still guys present or not?
There are 2. There were the 2, the one that got shot in the leg, who was down on his leg, on his knee, and the other one who was holding his arm. I don't think anybody knocked them out.
No.
But as this happens, they've already bolted.
Can I use my card up my sleeve to shoot one of them before they get away?
You can. You'll see him bolting.
That's fine.
Try and cast Phantom Fingers.
I wouldn't think the guy with the leg wound could bolt very fast.
Well, he's getting as best he can. So
He's hobbling fast.
Yeah, he was.
So which one do you want to shoot, Rob? The guy who's running or the guy who's getting up and limping quickly
The
away?
guy that's running.
Okay.
Spot. 13.
Okay. Roll location.
Red Joker, but no
19.
Right.
19?
19.
What'd you roll?
What did I say? 13.
You put it in the head.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Damage, right?
Yep. Which would be using your rifle or your pistol?
I didn't bring the rifle with me.
Okay, so it's
Pistol.
5d6. 2 extra dice for the noggin. Well, how'd you do, Mike?
You got a Red Joker,
Okay.
and so
Oh, not Richie.
but I can control that.
Yep. You don't get backlash from that.
21.
So it's a wild card for your hex.
21. Damage.
Good enough. You plug him in the head and he just, at a run, just poof, and slides.
So I got 3 of a kind then.
Sack of potatoes.
Ooh.
So that's a person.
Okay.
So I'm going to grab it and then
Bobby.
yank him back towards us.
Okay. So he basically slides along the walk right up to you guys. Yeah.
Hi. You're crazy.
Brad, high or low?
5.
This is Brother Jacob.
The one that I shot or the one that got...
The one that just got drug up to you
Oh!
is Brother Jacob.
I'm going to put my gun to his head. Pull the trigger back.
Okay.
Got to explain what's going on here? You got 5 seconds.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious he wants that amulet.
I kind of look at you. Can you get this fella to tell the whole truth? Nothing but the truth, so help you, Cobb?
You
You
Cobb.
can give it
That
another
needs to be
try.
on a t-shirt right there.
Yeah,
so
so
help me,
I already
Cobb.
tried that once.
Well, maybe if he's not so talkative.
If he's not
Try and choke him.
No,
Phantom fingers.
Choke him with
backup.
your phantom fingers. So
I'll go ahead and try.
okay.
So help me, Cobb.
That is pretty awesome.
I got one pop. $12.
12.
Yeah, 12.
Now he needs to roll spirit to lie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's there. He's kind of choking a little bit. Go
The
ahead.
gun to his head.
Go, so what do you want the amulet for? All right. Well,
I'm sorry. Grab his nuts.
we're interrogating him if you're.
Well, what I'm
doing that
looking
to him.
for. So you loosen up, and he's like, "It's not for me."
Was it for your? What was his name?
Grim.
Grim.
And then the disco breaks out.
Let's go.
I'll tell you after our dance off.
disco smuck.
Smut? Well, I like it already.
Smuck.
Oh, smug. I'm
Rhymes with
Disco
duck.
Smut's much more fun, though.
I prefer schmuck.
Disco Schmuck.
He's like, the great Reverend Grimm is interested in it, but he's not after it. He sent Father Wilkes, Emmanuel Wilkes. He leads our party. He and Brother Kane.
Where are they?
Brother Kane, he looks over at the railing, seems to be indisposed at the moment.
Is he coming back?
Is it the two I threw over the railing?
No, it's the demon.
Oh.
I believe he's talking
He
about
says-
the demon.
I don't know if he is. He might.
All right, we're just checking on
Brother
that.
Wilkes is far away. Not too far.
Not too far, but far away. Exactly how many miles would that be?
Less than a mile, but no one knows where. We're not privy to that information. We were sent to get the amulet and retrieve it and bring it back to him.
Well, I didn't ask you anything about that, but thank you for handing that over.
He kind of looks at the barrel of the gun next to his head. I thought I'd volunteer some information.
These my phantom fingers like, good boy.
Yeah.
It's a little warm, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also feels like a hand pat.
Not hot.
Get,
Nobody
get
there.
a little brand
No,
on
he's
the
not
side.
getting a brand. He's just. It's
How
just
many
a little
more
toasty
lackers
warm.
you got here?
In Cliffside? None now.
All right. When with Wilkinson?
Wilkes.
Wilkes? 3, maybe 4.
Well, was there anything else you want me to ask?
So he was a demon. Or was he possessed by one?
Brother Kane?
Yes.
He is gifted.
Gifted.
So he was probably possessed, I would imagine.
He is here at special request.
Or he was summoned.
By Brother Wilkes.
I see.
But he says he is an honorable father and brother of the Church of Lost Angels. And then he starts praying, kind of under his breath, closes his eyes and starts praying. But you notice it's kind of,
I'd tighten your grip on him on that.
Yeah, I do so.
I mean, choke him off, but he's still, and you know what he was praying was kind of a version of, yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I shall fear no evil. But it was a little different. It was like, yea, through I walk
Dave.
as I walk this field of life, I shall fear not. I shall overcome. It's like a twisted version of that.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything about I shall fear no evil because it's like, well, I am evil, so I'm going to be the baddest bad boy on the block. But you choke him out before but he's still, you can tell he's saying it to himself.
I can fix this real quick.
And you know this is what a faith-believing person would do when they're about to die.
Yeah.
I don't
Well, the
think.
thing
Yeah.
is,
At this time, I think it would be right out and out murder just to shoot him right now. He is unarmed and
Well, he'll cook up any
No
story
longer
he
threat.
can.
Yep, taking my other gun out,
Well,
and put it in his hand. There you go.
Get down,
Bam!
get down to the sheriff's
We can always,
office
I
and
can always try and make him confess
have them-
again.
try to.
I think killing him would be a bad idea only because we know this one, right? If we see him again, well, we know things afoot.
I'm looking around. Have we attracted any attention with all the gunshots?
Yeah.
You do see some lights coming on out, like a block or two away. You said, "Hey, what was that?" Just then, you hear this, and you see 4 arrows appear right between this guy's shoulder blades, and you see a couple of the arrowheads kind of come out, and he just kind of and dies, and he with your phantom fingers just hanging there.
I spin around from the direction of the arrows and look.
As you look, they came from up on another roof, and you see. Do you remember
was gonna
when
say,
you were
I
coming
spin
down
around
the
and-
river, the Asian guy that you were talking to?
Yeah.
You see him up there with a bow, and he's like, just nods to you, and kind of moves back into the shadow. Sophie
Shot
yells
this
out.
person.
Sophie kind of quickly and forcefully says, "We should leave before the law shows up, don't you think?"
Yeah, what she said.
Good idea.
And she starts moving for one of the alleys.
I'm gonna.
He's like,
I'm
"We don't
gonna
need
check,
to answer any questions.
I
We
want
need
to
to
check
leave
this guy's
town
stuff real
tomorrow."
quick. The guy that we just had the arrows in.
Yeah.
I want to search him right quick.
He has a pistol with a couple shells. That's
I'll take it. Go.
Okay. As you pick up the pistol, you notice it has like a symbol on the grip, and it kind of looks like it says Lost Angels. You notice the cross is not the right way.
Upside down or
Yeah.
sideways or
And
something.
as you pick it up, you're like,
I don't grab the handle. I grab the.
well, when you pick up the gun,
Yeah.
the whole gun has something about it that's like,
Yeah. I'll put this in the. I'm sure Felix will be interested in this.
so
Throw it in my bag.
you put it in your bag. Okay. So you guys kind of duck back, and you do hear and see like silhouettes and footsteps kind of running that way. But you guys can get around and kind of like as they come down the main streets to the walk, you guys go around the other way.
I do one thing, and I'm going to try and use fan fingers to rip out one of those arrows and take it with me.
Or you could just rip one of the arrows out.
I just use it to pull it out.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, you still have it on.
Yep.
But yeah, you pluck one of the arrows. Okay.
And if I can't see, then basically I hightail it out of there. So
All right. So you guys managed to sidestep everybody and get to the other side and make it back to the hotel. And if anybody kind of runs by, you can kind of avoid them, so you don't have to do like, oh, I don't know what's going on. It's all over there. So you guys can get back to the hotel if you wish before it's all done, or you can kind of loop around like, what's going on, and then see what's. It's up to you. I don't know.
I can get back to the hotel.
Is it possible to get down from where he fell?
To where he fell?
Yeah.
No, not tonight because the lifts are out of service.
I could.
'cause it's after hours. Now you could do it in the morning. So you hear somebody drop down in the shadow of a building and say, "My friends, wait." And out from the shadows, you see an Asian man. And he's like,
what was his name? Or the name?
Lee Kwan, I think it was.
That sounds right.
Oh, sorry.
And he's like, "It's me, Lee."
What are you doing?
Well, following you, which is probably a good thing I did.
You knew all about this stuff going on there?
I didn't know about this, but I knew the Church of Lost Angels was doing something. They were up to something.
We got to find this.
Yeah, but why did you silence him when we were in the middle of talking to him?
Because there's nothing he can tell you that's probably nothing but lies or useless information.
Scrutinize?
Yeah, you can.
And he goes,
They are evil.
well, you would have been wrong on that account, but
What did he tell you?
told us enough for what we need to know.
Who's in charge of this group?
A man by the name Wilkes.
Yep. And that's probably all you would get out of him.
And he's got 3 or 4 other men with him.
Yes.
And then they're looking for this thing for Grimm.
Yes. And he points at Haskins. That is one. The main one. The artifact. I'm not sure what it is, but I've heard that they were after something like this. That's why I went to Salt Lake City.
By the way, who the hell is this guy?
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Because I don't remember. I probably never.
You probably didn't even talk to him.
I didn't talk to him.
Well, he just started on the good. What was that? Big John or something? That's the boat.
Yeah, big Jim.
Big Jim. Well, he knew the Big Jims, but apparently he'd been ordered by somebody to come after us. Keep an eye on us, huh?
No, I did it for your own good. I'm from the maze. The Church of Lost Angels is not a good thing.
Kind of
They're
gathered
evil,
that.
evil men.
I would gather they gamble and let's get a drink. It looked a little obvious here in the streets.
Confession? Got it.
What's his name again?
Liho Kwan.
Kwan.
16.
Okay.
So I go, so exactly who are you working for?
I work for the better of mankind, or the good of mankind.
All right. And so you're not allies with this Reverend Grimm then?
No. And he is forceful and almost indignant. He's like, no, I am not.
So does he realize, because he probably spitting it out like he's compelled to?
He doesn't seem
Okay.
to realize it. Yeah, this is like an honest reaction.
Okay.
He's like, no, I am not.
And you plan on doing any harm to me and my companions?
No, of course not. But then he kind of like,
Do you endeavor to always tell us the truth?
apparently, yes. He kind of smiles at that. He's like, I have heard tell of your religion. My religion.
So now you understand why we may have wanted to talk to Wilkes. But fortunately, we were pretty much done with him.
Yes. These men are not to be trusted, and they are evil. If he were allowed to live, he would have reported to Wilkes and probably caused problems later on.
We need to know where Wilkes is. He's not far. He's within a mile.
He covers himself. He hides himself with a cloak of black magic.
He's probably what got them coyotes after us.
While I was in the maze, I heard about this expedition and that Reverend Grimm was very interested in these artifacts for some reason. Pinkertons and Texas Rangers, they are both there. And I talked to them. They could not do anything about it. They didn't have the manpower or whatever their excuse was. So I took it upon myself to come and find and stop these men. My two brothers and my sister were murdered by the Church of Lost Angels.
Mm.
And their souls and their bodies were dishonored. Let's put it that way.
You're
Sorry to hear
desecrated.
that.
Desecrated as well. They were present for the Sunday feast. But I knew these lost angels were here and they were on your trail. I kind of kept an eye on them as well, but it was hard to do with their cloak of evil. I couldn't track them, so I decided to stick close to you. Once you left those boats, I gave it about 3 hours, and then I followed you to Cliffside on my own, in secret. I've been hiding on the rooftops ever since.
So you don't work for anybody except for yourself.
The good of mankind, I guess you could say.
Not too far off.
I look at you.
Well, that's what he said earlier.
Yeah. He says,
Yeah, but you're
I
the
don't
one.
know if you realize
I dropped that after.
I don't know if you realize what has happened in the world. It is light versus dark, yin and yang, good and evil. It is a battle that has been raging for quite some time.
Well, I think that's since the beginning of man. Since
It
the
is.
apple was taken from the tree, if I last recall.
There is a thing called the
Well,
reckoning.
you have read the Bible. Oh,
You
good for
made
you.
me with that gun to my head. I read it.
There is a thing called the reckoning. Are you aware of it?
Am I? I should be now.
You guys,
Yeah, I think
I
we
told you
have.
about the reckoning.
Mm-hmm. Good mention.
I think I read it in a comic strip.
Yeah. I read it in the main book.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reckoning, you guys know that there was a shaman named Raven who was very angry because the white man slaughtered his whole tribe. So he gathered all these shamans who had suffered at the white man's.
Do we actually know that part, though?
Yes,
Okay.
Felix would have told you that part.
Okay.
And he apparently did some ritual or something and went into what they call the hunting grounds and somehow released all these evil spirits, these Manitow, and let them into the world. And that's what's been causing all this fear and monsters and creatures.
Well, don't forget, you guys almost saw a reckoner.
Yes.
So.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Because Sam Purdy was trying to summon one
Yeah.
to steal its powers.
Right. So this all happened because of that shaman Raven. But ever since then, things have gotten really dangerous, really weird. And everybody, like most people, don't know it. And like the sickle bugs, they're not really part of the reckoning, but they're probably a byproduct of the reckoning. But like the Wendigo you faced, those Krampus that you met, could have been brought about by the reckoning. That's about as all you know.
Well, Stone. I mean, he's
And Stone is apparently you've probably heard that there are servitors, which serve the dark forces of the reckoning, the evil spirits.
right. Right there's a prime example of the whole situation.
And he says that Reverend Grimm is believed to be one of these servitors. So, like Stone is a servitor of death.
Mm-hmm.
Reverend Grimm is a servitor of like pestilence. And they think Raven might be a servitor of war. There's another servitor that they're like, famine is Grimm.
Name is Grim.
There's another servitor, but they're not quite sure who that might be yet. There's some rumblings, but they have identified 3, and they all seem to work along those lines. And these are the things that are releasing the evil into the world. There's no idea how to stop it, but we have found out that we can fight it.
Let's say if the servitors are the good equivalent of a servitor by chance?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a good equivalent to a servitor?
No.
Yes, there is. There's us.
I was just gonna say, just
We have
us.
to my hat.
There's no equivalent to a servitor, but those who stand up against them and fight their fear,
Usually meet Mr. Stone.
yep. If you've met a servitor or encountered a servitor,
Yes.
Several times.
More than one.
you are probably something special. He says, you, Father Cobb, wanted to get to the bottom of that ledge.
I'd like to.
I can help you.
All right.
Banhammer.
That can too.
Does it involve dangling me from the end of a rope?
No, but you must hold on very tight. And he kind of smiles.
Good shooting.
All right.
Thanks.
He says,
Oh.
we'll have to go back when Whitaker's Walk is free of activity. We can sneak back there now and see.
All right.
You want us
Oh,
to
we
go
go
with
have a drink or something. You know.
Well, if you want to see if it's there, we best hurry.
I'd
If we
much
go have
rather
a
hurry
drink,
if
it
it
could be
comes
me,
back
but
to life or something.
I'll go
but,
with
you.
you.
know,
And
time.
keep an eye on things.
I can only carry one.
I'm just going to keep an eye on top. Just make sure that they're covered.
I'll try and come with.
Okay. Who's going to Whitaker's Walk and who's going to go back to the hotel and basically...
I'll follow.
Do I have time
I'll
to go-
with the doctor to make sure he's okay.
Do I have time to go back to the hotel and then go with them to Whitaker's Walk, or is it? Like,
no.
shit.
If you're going to go, you got to go now.
I'm going with Whitaker's Walk then.
Okay.
I'm going to the hotel.
Yep. Copperhead's going to the hotel.
And before they leave, I want to tell Lee I'm very sorry that you have lost family members to this cult. And I'm sorry that you could not get any help when you asked for it. That's a terrible thing to have happened. I've seen a few weird things in my travels, and I hope I never have to see anything like that. And you showed great restraint, I think, in not just trying to mow them down yourself. And
He actually does the kind of honorable bow, and he's like, I do not blame my friends in the maze for not helping. There's a lot going on in the maze, but I do what I can. And trust me, when you fight on your own, you learn to choose your battles wisely. And he kind of smiles, and he says,
but vengeance would be tempting.
it is most tempting. And he kind of says it with like a tight-lipped smile, like, oh, you don't know. But he's like, but that time will come when it is here. Quickly, we must go. So Copperhead, Lily, and Olaf are going to escort Sophie and Dr. Haskins back to the hotel.
Yep.
When you guys get there,
As we're walking, can I do something?
let me go with these guys real quick.
Okay.
So as you guys get to the hotel, you guys get up into your room. if nobody's really too hurt,
I'm gonna
but
stay with Haskins for a little while.
okay. So yeah, you can get Dr. Bruce Smith. You can get him, and he'll come in, check him over, and oh yeah, you're okay, and tell him the tale if you want. He's like, oh okay, so you really saw this thing. Was it a little beauty? Crikey, was it amazing? Because it's a demon. I ain't seen one of them. That would be really cool.
It was a big.
Was it like a mean old murder bear koala?
Murder bear koala.
So anyway, you can get Sophie and Dr. Haskins kind of calm down, looked over, relax, get him a drink. You can all kind of go into their room with the doctor. You guys will be busy for a while, just kind of like
Securing things.
going over things.
Yeah.
And he's like, we need to go first thing in the morning. So Sophie will
Yes.
go check on the guides. They're like, huh? Are we leaving now? No, we're not leaving. Yeah, we're okay. We're going back to bed. So they're okay. She's like, all right. She asked for you guys to help basically pack everything up, get the wagons loaded over at the stable. So daylight, she's like, I think daylight, we're gone. Just get
Well,
going.
not the artifacts though. They're staying right here.
Well, yeah, so they're going to keep them with them.
Yeah.
But everything else can pack up. So you guys will get that ready. So
Okay.
back at Whitaker's Walk.
Well, as we're walking there, I want to cast Hex Sense on the arrow and see if he's using some sort of powers or something like
Yeah,
that.
you can try.
Right.
Yes, he used something you've heard about, but you've never seen it. It's called chi power. And basically, enlightened martial artists have chi abilities. They
Now,
build
I
up
have
their
talked
chi.
to the laundry people, and they are enlightened. So, and we also encounter the enlightened in my module as well.
Oh, that's right.
So,
So yeah, it's that. He has chi power that he charges up. And the spell that he used was Abundance of Pecking Birds. He fired 4 arrows at once,
okay.
and it right into the guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
You call them the laundry people. They were a gang.
I know. Well,
They were a syndicate. Like the tongs.
Yes. Yeah. They were the tongues.
yeah. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is you're kind of doing that. I hand the arrow back, and I go, well, you might want this back. You might need it.
Thank you. And he kind of checks it, and he's like,
I go,
puts it
what?
back in his quiver.
This is one of them pistols off of them preachers. Check it out.
One of those what?
Pistols off the preachers.
Oh, the pistols.
Yeah.
A pistol.
When you grab it,
The
Mike,
TP's
when
in
you
his.
grab the pistol, it is kind of like that. You can already feel there's something with it. And it has a symbol of the Church of Lost Angels, but the cross is upside down.
Yeah.
I hand it to you. Almost
Do
thankfully.
I feel that?
Yeah, you feel it.
I'm gonna try and consecrate it.
Interesting. Okay.
No idea what will happen, but
Neither do I.
I'm using consecrate armament because I can do it to a weapon.
Right. You actually concentrate, and you try and consecrate this thing. As you do, you're like, your hand starts to feel hot, and you see the metal on it instantly turn to rust, and the grip becomes like real hot. And by the time you're done consecrating it, the gun is useless. It's rusted together. And the handle is like scorched and melted.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the upside down cross, and the Lost Angels thing is perfect. And it's actually like bright. Like if it was a kind of a used sandalwood, it looks like ivory. And you're just like, whoa. So you tried to consecrate it, and it rolled its black magic and got a 12. So you're 9. You're like, and the gun actually resisted it and made itself unusable. And you guys get up to where Whitaker's Walk is, and there's you can hear a crowd, but people are dispersing. And you do see a couple security guards, and that head of security, Luke Beamer, he's up there. And him and 2 other guys are looking at that stain, the burn mark on the walk. Like, I'll be damned. I don't know what that is. They're kind of looking around. They're like, you see them kind of getting the bodies together. He's like, all right, well, I don't know who did this, but be on the lookout. And this is... All right. We're going to have to lock everything down. Anybody who wants to leave is going to have to go through us. Tomorrow morning. Start it now. Nobody leaves this town. Not tonight. I'm like, right. You see a bunch of security guards go out and take positions.
Right.
But he kind of like, well. Okay, you see a couple of them looking over the railing like, I don't know. And they're like, he's like, all right. Nothing we can do about it tonight, I don't think. I want 2 men on patrols in each sector tonight. Watch for anything. Okay. And he's like, we'll have another look at it first thing in the morning. And him and those 2 guys move off. So Whitaker's walk, there are 2 security guards
Did
here.
they take the bodies with them?
There are 3 guys piling the bodies up on a cart.
No.
And getting ready to haul them off. And then there's going to be 2 security guards. And they start at the north end and they start walking to the south. They're doing their patrol.
Right.
So as these guys leave and they gather the bodies, they're already halfway down the walk facing the other way. And Lee's like, if you want to go, we can go now.
Well, best do so.
He walks over to the rail and he's like,
Bogey bag ready.
kind of puts his arm around your waist and he's like, hold on to me very tightly. He's like, all right, step up. He steps up on the rail and he's like, you fell right about there, right? Do you think? So you 2 basically step off the rail and you notice you start plummeting and he's holding on to you and you're just like going straight down. And as you get about halfway,
Jesus Christ.
you're like, what did I do? But about halfway down, you notice he kind of takes a fighting stance and you start slowing.
Okay.
You're still moving pretty quick, but you start slowing. And by the time you get to the bottom, you 2 just kind of like you.
Bo,
just
what are you
stepped off
doing?
Like you just stepped off a staircase.
I said, well, you better get out of here.
Well, that's a nifty trick.
We call it monkey goes to.
What are you doing?
Call what?
Monkey goes to the mountain. It is a power that the enlightened can utilize
All right.
quickly.
Whatever.
He kind of smiles. He's like, "You have your religion. I have mine."
Well, we don't name it after animals.
Well, we do.
I
And as you guys
Is there a
look
body there?
around, you don't see anything. Although you do see on the rocks nearby, you can see some black
Ick.
ichor. And it's kind of the sludge, and it's already drying up and turning to dust. And then you don't see anything after that. And he's like, well, this is obviously where he landed, but he must have gotten up. I don't know how wounded he will be, but he will probably be hungry.
Right. Well, can you get us back up now?
Yes.
All right.
And he basically crouches and he's like, hold on. And he jumps. And as he jumps, it's that anime.
Yeah.
And as you get to the top, it's almost like you're guided by him. You get to the top and just step on this rail. Again, like it's a floor. And then you just step off or hop down.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, it's gone.
Well, the mere fact that he survived all that and the impact of the fall makes me a bit scared.
It should. It is a demon.
Dang it.
Now, Brother Jacob said that. Did Brother Jacob tell you how he got to be here?
He was summoned by Wilkes.
There might be a connection there.
Get rid of Wilkes, we get rid of the demon.
Or at least weaken him. Or
My
banish him
occult?
back
Can I roll my
banish him back to his plane.
Roll my occult.
Yeah.
I got an 8.
That's good enough. Yeah, you've heard of cultists, black magicians making pacts with demons. Draw a circle, summon a demon, have it do something for you. If the guy who summoned it dies, sometimes it will either banish the demon back, or it will destroy the demon, or it might.
Or he'll move on to start a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, he could. But if
Or a bowling alley.
if you if you like damage the summoning circle, which would be Wilkes himself, like if you damage him but don't kill him, and it frees the demon might not exactly be too happy that he had to come here.
Right.
So he could turn on Wilkes. to finish him off.
Right.
But if you could kill Wilkes, his demon is no longer beholden to him, so he could vanish, he could die, you don't know. But
Right.
if there's a connection, that's his anchor to this dimension.
Gotcha.
You can start talk show.
So there is that.
Okay.
Okay. What do you guys do then?
Head back to the hotel.
Not down there, huh?
No, he wasn't down there. He's moved on.
Damn it.
And Lee's like, well, if you excuse me, I don't have a room at the hotel, and I think it would be suspicious if I got one now. So anyway, you guys go back to the hotel. You see them packing everything up. You can jump in and help.
I don't think we'll be able to leave tomorrow, but we'll try.
And Sophie's like, what do you want?
They're locking down the city, the town, until they figure out what's going on.
If we can prove that it wasn't us, if they don't connect the dots, we can get out of here before they realize it. I don't think they have any idea we were on the walk. Otherwise, they'd probably be here at the hotel arresting us right now.
Yeah, so that's true.
So she's like, well, let's just get out as early as we can. Yeah, you wake up. Everybody's nice and fresh, ready to go. Like, let's leave town.
Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. Wouldn't be the first time.
And you notice when you guys come down.
Guys are wanting their big breakfast.
Yep. They come down and it's like Haskins is trying, but he's like, act natural. Act natural. We're having breakfast. And Sophie's like, shut the hell up. But he's a little nervous, but he's trying to play it off. And she's just like, just don't say anything. So he's a little bit like Bo would be like, maybe I should tell him a story. No, don't tell him a story. Just eat breakfast and we're going. So throughout breakfast, you notice he is
Getting a little anxious for the trip there, are you?
Yes,
Professor?
I am. And you notice he takes the silverware on the side of his plate and switches it like 3 times before he stops. Like, okay, that's good. They, somebody hands him a cup of coffee. He's like, oh, thank you. And picks it up with his left hand. He's got that thing.
Right.
So you guys have your breakfast. It goes pretty well, pretty quiet. Most people are not even up yet. The trappers are already down there.
Right.
They basically grab handfuls. They grab a big old plate of food. They're like, we'll eat this at the stable. We'll bring the plate back. About 7 o'clock, you guys get all your stuff
We're
together.
eating breakfast. You want to tell the good father what happened, at least?
The
Keep
good
it on
father.
Your reverend friend about them, how
Ramsey.
bad those
And
people
there's a
are.
lot less of them in town now.
But they come back around, know them. They're pretty vicious demon people.
I imagine I can stop over there before we leave.
You go send your telegraph. Yep, send your telegraph. So you guys mount up, head to the gate. As you get to the gate, there's 4 security guards out there, a couple in the towers, and they kind of
We stop.
walks out.
I'm driving a wagon, so
Yep, Sophie's got the other wagon. They're like, morning, folks. Oh, the expedition. You guys are headed to the Grand Canyon, aren't you?
yes, sir.
The gentlemen, what were the guides came in last night.
Yeah, and they're there with you on horseback.
Oh,
Actually, they're not on horseback. They would probably be walking or
Really?
riding the wagons. They probably actually have their own little buck wagon.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
as we were coming up, I caught.
They came in on horses.
Yeah,
Silver tongue devil.
they did come on horses.
Yeah, they probably hooked those up to a buckboard with the other horse tied to the back.
Okay.
So you got two of the horses are now dragging a little buckboard wagon. The other one of the guys is probably riding him. So, and the buckboard wagon has, you notice it has
Disco
boats
ball.
in it.
Has what?
Boats, like almost like big canoes or something like that. So
They're
kind
made
of
out of
fishing boats, long
Canoes,
boats.
so they're canoes.
Canoes.
Canoe
I can't even
canoes.
say that.
What were you doing?
I tried to cast silver tongue devil, but I couldn't do it.
Okay. Wait,
Yeah, I was just say.
Good morning. Just gunshots. We were.
I don't know.
It wasn't really.
It was us.
It was late. I don't know.
It says Jack.
Look, it's Elvis. Don't tell anybody. And he runs out.
It says Jack, so I'd have to beat a pair of Jacks.
Yeah.
Okay, because I only got 10s.
So you try it and you're just like stumbling over your words.
No, it just does. I could still do it. It just gives me a +5 to my persuasion rolls. So
So it doesn't mess
botch
him
or
up. It
anything,
just
Yeah.
doesn't botch it. He just
So yeah, you talk, but basically they're like, so we just need to inspect some of your equipment, just make sure everything's on the up and up.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
I'm sure that the what's his name would let him. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, Haskins.
Haskins.
Absolutely. He gets down. They go through some of your equipment. They ask to see all your firearms, just kind of like
okay, here we go.
give it a once over. Ask you a couple questions. Stay in the hotel all night last night? Yep, we did. Went for a little walk about 8 o'clock in the
Went a drinking.
hotel.
Came back.
So, anybody verify that? Yeah, hotel clerkins, barkeep. Oh, okay. So they basically say, all right, well, good luck on your expedition, folks. As you guys walk out of sight of Cliffside, you do see someone up on the road, just kind of sitting on a fallen tree, and basically just probably playing a flute or something like that. Actually,
Is that Lee?
yep, it's Lee, and he
I
looks
I
over.
nudge Haskins. This is a friend we were telling you about.
Oh yes,
So I was going to
Good person to
join
have.
up and help out.
Good person to have with the group.
everybody holds up, and he's kind of. Haskins is like, so you want to join the expedition? He's like,
Morning,
yes.
Lee.
He's like, well, thank you for your assistance last night. If you are comfortable with it, I have no qualms about having an extra hand, especially someone who can help as much as you, it sounds like. So if you folks have no qualms,
We've already invited him along.
We did.
good. We'll climb aboard. And he does. He hops up next to a couple of you and kind of like, thank you very much. I will do anything I can to
I'm
aid
gonna warn you, Lee. You're probably gonna be hounded for your cooking from Bo the
Yeah,
entire
right.
time
Looks
you're
over, he's
traveling
like,
with it.
oh, no problem. And he has a big satchel bag. He's like, rice.
All right. I was hoping that it's not a six demon bag.
No, that's my uncle.
Oh, all right.
So you guys get down to what looks like the base, and there's kind of a long stretch of beach, and then the water kind of comes in like the you see what's called Nankoweap Rapids up ahead, and you
What?
guys aren't getting in Nankoweap Rapids. Nankoweap Rapids.
Well, okay.
Rapid.
And the guides kind of tell you that you're going up past these rapids and then you're going to get on the river, but there are some rapids up ahead. So they'll help you navigate those as best they can. They'll take care of the boats, but just
Swimming.
Basically.
Swimming.
hold on.
Yeah.
Just keep swimming.
So
Wait, oh,
I got swimming.
Well, what about the wagons? Are we going to take them too?
we can leave those here. We'll get them on the way back. There's nobody can bother them here. And we'll probably put them over. There's a kind of not a cave, but more like a big alcove. So we'll just put them over there and cover them up with tarps and branches. Nobody
About the
will-
horses and stuff.
Well, they're going to have to stay. We
Yeah,
can't take
cover
them on the boat.
tarps and branches.
It's on foot from here. So one of the guides is like, I got a friend coming. He's going to take care of the horses for us. He'll take them back up to Cliffside. He's got a farmhouse out there
Gonna turn 'em into
on the desert. It's not really a farmhouse, more like a ranch. But he'll collect our horses and get them back so he can take care of them while we're gone.
He's called a horse thief.
Yeah,
Well, Peter Paul Mary, this is where we
he'll have
gotta
a
go.
heck of a stew when we get back.
Separate out here for a while, old boy.
Oh, Peter Paul Mary.
Some stew and a whole bucket of glue.
You reach the river about midday, and Haskins has the posse set up camp rather than immediately taking to the water. He's like, I think we should camp here for a bit. He's like, let's take some time, get ready, and talk to the guides about how we're going to do this on the river. So that night, the guides, Dakota Jack, basically tells you, he's like, well, there's several ways around the rapids when we get there. First way is to go around a rapid is to simply portage around it, carry everything around it. Safest method, but it's time consuming. So it's going to add a lot more time to get around these things that way. but it is the safest way. Next one, we call it lining. The boats are guided through the run by controlling them with ropes from the shore. Lining is also time-consuming and subtracts quite a few miles from a day's trip. So, the quickest is also kind of the most dangerous, and that's what we call shooting the rapids. You just go through them. Is how Powell did it. Well, the 3 guides can act as tillermans in each boat. You guys would have to be the oarsmen. So you'll have to, and it's strenuous work trying to row through rapids. So we've hit on a method of hitting the rapids prow first so the tillerman can actually see where he's going. So if we turn the boats around, so to speak, it's a lot easier because then you can kind of see what's ahead before, instead of like, oh, I didn't see that because you were in the way.
Right.
So they're like, we can actually do that.
Can we travel on the river, and if we approach rapids, pull over to the side and do the line? Or
If there's enough room. Sometimes the river goes right up to the walls, so you may not be able to, but there's even a little bit. We could probably go single file and get over there. Might get our feet wet, but you don't want to you don't want to slip and fall in the rapids for sure. A lot of the river does have some banks to it, but some of the river is right up to the walls, and we may not be able to walk around. But we'll have to see when we get there. It's unpredictable. Sometimes the rapids aren't too bad. Depends on the time of the year and the weather sometimes.
and how's the time of the year and the weather been lately?
Well, lately it's been kind of midsummer, but we've had some downpours and some thunderstorms around here. That tends to make the rapids a little worse.
Right.
But I haven't had one for a couple days. No clouds in the sky today, but you never know. Weather around here is weird. It can blow up a thunderstorm that lasts for 15 minutes and then it's done. Or it might last for 3 hours. You never know.
It's up to you, Doctor.
Well, I say we take the river, and if we come to a rapids, we kind of stop and set before we push through. I certainly don't mind.
Sounds
taking a
right
little
to me.
extra time to do it safe.
Sounds right to me.
Off we go then.
All right.
All right, I'm going to take off my duster, and I'm going to put on one of those
Water life preservers.
water life preservers. That
Yeah,
you
I forgot about those.
We didn't have those
Yeah, let's
already.
put all those on.
Yep.
Yep.
So you guys,
We have enough
the next
guides
morning,
too.
no, they're like, no.
I'll take off my duster for sure,
Yeah.
just in case.
Yeah.
Have on my
Hard to swim when
vest.
you've got lead plates holding you down.
You even half swim?
Yes, I do.
I do not.
I have a drowned of 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. I got drowned
Yeah.
4.
Oh man, you're an expert at it.
So the next morning, you guys all gather up. You can get in on the boats. And they are kind of like big long boats, more than canoes, but they are shaped kind of canoe-like, but they're long boats. You guys get all the stuff piled in, get in there. Unlike the barges, this one you're going to have to divide the equipment. They have one for equipment, one for passengers. You have to divide it up so each boat has a couple people for oars.
Okay.
So, but you get it all set up. The guides get in there. You start paddling down the river. It is a very nice day. So as you guys go along for the first day, pretty smooth sailing. You guys are getting used to the rowing. So basically, you guys paddle on for most of the day. You do come across some interesting sights. You do see some. It kind of opens up a little bit, and you can see the cliff sides, the walls, whatever you want to call them. And there are like ledges and plateaus. You know, it's just like that, but it's pretty beautiful. But you do notice late last night and early this morning when you left, it did kind of give you the creeps because of the caves. After everything you've been through, you probably didn't sleep very well because you're always like, what's in the cave? What's in the cave? Just these big gaping holes up there.
Right.
And some of the rocks, you know, there's like one big rock outcropping with like a couple shrubs growing off of it. And sometimes the moon would hit it right. You're like, demon.
Yeah.
So it kind of made you a little leery. But as the sun comes up, it's like, wow, this is really really beautiful. And you see some, what were they? Blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry.
There you go, blah, 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 on again.
Blah, 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 blah.
Aqua Yetis.
Aqua Yetis.
Bigfoot of the river.
Aquanettas.
Lock.
You see some
that-
bighorn
like a
sheep.
cannonball.
That's how you catch them.
Yeah. Bighorn sheep up on some of these ridges and stuff, just kind of milling about, doing their thing.
Hey.
They usually just stand there. You do see some right along the banks. And as you pass by, they just kind of like look at you.
Yep.
And they just don't really move much. So you paddle on for the day, and up ahead, you can hear what sounds like
Demon screeching.
a roaring of something, but it's more like a waterfall.
Okay.
And they're like, "Well, we ought to camp here tonight. Tomorrow, come to the first rapids. We'll see what we think of it. Why don't we pull over here tonight and get over the shore and camp out?" And you go, "Okay, sure." So you guys get over to the edge of the water, pull the
And
boats
it is
out.
getting late afternoon, or they just
Yeah, you
wanna
guys go
stop
till
because-
almost dusk, unless you guys want to stop earlier. They're like, "Well, why don't we just go till the sun sets, get as many miles as we can?"
Yeah.
Just a question: can you wander down there to look at them, the rapids from here? Or
Yeah, we can go down there and take a look if you
I'm
want.
gonna try fishing.
Where do we set up?
Try fishing.
Okay. So as you guys set up camp, let's see.
One of the guides come with. They can judge the rapids from there.
Okay. You guys get the boats out of the water and kind of get them to where they're not going to float away, and get some of the stuff you need for your campsite. And Bo, as you're hauling over some of the bedrolls to the shore, the dirt, you kind of take a step and you hear,
Oh shit!
and as you look down,
You see a baby.
about about 3 feet from you is rattlesnake. Pretty good size, but it's
Okay.
like the salmon colored rattlesnake.
Oh
And
boy.
it's just kind of like looking at you, but not really doing much.
Okay.
They're gonna
And as
bow.
you kind of look, you're like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit!" And the others are coming up behind you, and about 6 feet that way,
Rattlesnake.
another one. The Dakota comes up, and he's like, "Oh, everybody stop!" Oh, he bends down and picks one up by the right behind the head.
Yeah.
Picks it up. No. It goes over to the other one. Actually starts to slither away, and he's like, "Yeah, get." And canyon rattlesnakes are different. They're pretty good tempered unless you cause them a problem.
Simon says the snakes just want to play.
Yeah.
He's like, "Don't worry about them. Just don't kick them or nothing like that. They won't bother you too much.
All right.
They usually tend to leave."
Okay.
He's like, "They're a lot different than the rattlesnakes you folks have. That's for sure."
Dawn tooting. Couldn't tell one of them to leave.
As you guys set up camp, it is kind of now it's kind of like that. I can relax.
Gotta make sure I don't wake up with a rattlesnake.
I
in
have to
my
make
chest.
sure there's no rattlesnakes.
Right.
So you guys clear out the area. You guys can walk on down to the. Anybody want to walk down and check out the rapids?
I'm fishing.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna start fishing.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm making coffee.
Yeah, making coffee.
Fishing in her coffee.
Bloop.
I'll probably watch you fish.
In the coffee.
This is like watching the grass grow.
I don't know what the,
Strangest situation ever.
Nah.
the grounds for this
No,
are.
I'll give Cobb
I-
and me some time to talk.
Yeah, just kind of watch what you do and see. I don't.
Twilight Zone meets
Nice and calming. I can see
It'd
that.
be a nice
Well,
hobby.
it's pretty simple. I take out the dynamite and I light it and I chuck it in the water.
Put a tie a rock to it, chuck it in the water.
Don't do that, man.
All right.
Sorry.
As you guys walk up, they're like to the rapids. Who else going to check out the rapids? You,
Bonus with dynamite fishing, you get a free shower. Yes.
Sophie, Dr. Haskins will go. So you guys walk up, and off in the distance you can see the rapids coming up.
Yeah.
And what they look like. And he's like, "Oh, these ain't too bad. They're not too bad. These here are the Quagunt Rapids, is what they call them. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know.
Hello, Thorn.
But these rapids aren't too bad.
All right.
We could probably get through them. Of course, we can go around if you wish, but it don't look too bad. And yeah, for those of you who have never seen rapids before, it's like, I'll take your word for it. I mean,
Yep.
it's a lot of water churning around, but they're just
Well,
not bad. So
I think maybe we probably want to go ahead and do this because get our gets our hands wet and having a feel on what we got to be doing when it
Well,
gets
it'll
bad.
be honest. That's agree with you, Olaf. I mean, if they're not so bad, at least we get a good taste of it and get an understanding of what we're dealing with. And if it is bad, at least we're prepared. So I agree with you. I think that's a good
Prepared
idea.
to do it.
Yep.
So basically, as you guys are looking at the rapids, and they're like, okay, well, we can do that first thing in the morning if you want.
Yep.
We'll tackle them then. Sounds good.
Get a good sleep.
All right. So you guys head back. You guys have dinner made and all that stuff. So you
They catching anything?
can make a survival check.
15.
15. Yeah, you catch about 5 or 6 fish.
All right, Cobb, this is how you clean them. Now you take the knife, I'll tell you how to do it.
That part's actually probably easy.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, I can do that. Did you roll for your night terror?
Yep.
Okay. You
You
did.
want to bless these fish while we eat them?
Of course.
Gobble them down.
Santo Carpati.
Now they're holy mackerels.
Yeah.
Get him! Oh, Jesus!
Yikes.
Good.
Well, anyway, yeah, you guys have fish that night. It's pretty nice. Everybody sits around the fire.
Fish and rice.
Good yeah, fish and rice.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Lee's all like, ooh.
Ooh, fish! Yay!
So yeah, you guys have a pretty good dinner that night, and you had your lunch earlier that day, and it was kind of nice. And he's like, well, eat up. These are the last. So, everything else is just jerky and whatever else you got.
Yeah, we can hunt and fish on our way and help a little bit of good protein and whatnot.
So as you guys bed down for the night,
During that night, I will talk with Lee more, like learning more about his family and
Sure.
kind of stuff like that.
And I will pray that we survive the rapids.
okay, sounds good.
How'd you know what I was going to do?
Yeah. Because I'm worried.
Just as you guys have finished dinner, though, you're kind of like stretching out. I mean, it's kind of a nice bright moon out. It's not dark, but it's
There's a moon out.
moon's up in the sky.
This is for Simon.
Is this the...
This is the place for fish puns. If you know more, let me know.
No.
Let me know. Let me know.
Just for the halibut.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't want you to flounder. Okay, I'm
You're
done.
gonna go through that whole
You know
song,
what?
aren't
You're
you?
fishing for some bad puns.
I know.
I mean, you hooked me in, but
You bet your bass.
Stop baiting him.
You bet your bass they did.
All it will net you is bad dice.
Are you guys finished?
Back at you. Everybody roll cognition. Target number of 9. If you have
Cognition.
keen or big ears, I will allow that. Not eagle eye.
Not eagle eye?
No.
Fine.
10.
Nope.
Sheesh. That was terrible.
20.
12.
12.
Yeah, he got 20.
9.
9. Okay. Up on one of these hills, kind of the moon's over here, so
It's Batman.
you see about 4 people standing up there.
Like
But they're
silhouettes?
shadows. Yeah, they're almost shadows. You notice the shadows seem to be Native American. You can see feathers, like a bow kind of thing. You look over there, and yeah, you see 4 Indians standing up on this ridge, just kind of standing there watching you like they've been there. And as you kind of look, you're like, huh. You see 2 more a little farther out, crouching.
Yeah, you guys better.
And they've
know how
got
to
bows,
speak
but they're down.
Apache or Navajo fast, otherwise you get in a bit of trouble.
Okay, there's. They're watching 4 up on top. 2 outriders, 1 either end. And we got. How do I get your accent?
I know it's easy to slip in that southern.
They don't have the bows drawn. They're just kind of paused and ready.
Well, how far away are they?
They're up
Top of
on
the ridge there.
on the ridge line.
what is?
Indians.
What was that?
Indian. Yeah.
I look around at the
Fell off the
water.
ridge?
I look at the
Fell off the
water.
ridge?
Yeah, they're up on the ridge, probably about 20 yards away.
I'm going to go ahead and
Not over.
reach over and get my rifle ready.
Don't do anything
I'm gonna hold up my hand sign.
obstructive.
Yeah, as soon as you go
And
to reach, Copperhead's like,
I'm going to stand up and face directly at them and give a peace gesture and
Wrong way.
and an invitation wave.
I come in peace.
I kind of see that, but did you put up a hand signal?
Yeah.
And so did Sophie. Actually, says something in Native American.
Do I know what she
Instead
says?
of-
She actually says, "Greetings. We mean no harm." And
I have no idea who you're talking about.
and
This is good fish.
she says, she pauses, and they kind of look like they talk amongst each other quietly, so you can't hear it. And she says, "What tribe are you?" And one of them says back in Native American, kind of shouts it, and I don't know, you might know.
Shouts it out loud or signs it?
Says it out loud. Navajo.
Navajo.
Yeah. And she's like, "Ah," and you kind of motion.
There's a big.
Yep. And you do the sign, and they kind of, and she actually says, "Join." And they start walking down the hill. So they start signing, and she signs back. And what they said was, "Are we welcome by all?" And she says, "Yes, we are all friends."
I actually kind of step forward and I kind of sign to them. And he goes,
Please give me your underwear.
The duck is flat.
Please give me your underwear.
That's my line.
I go, I am a priest of the white man's father. And he goes, you are welcome here with us.
The one who seems to be in charge seems like he's probably in his 30s, early 30s. And he's very fit, pretty muscular. He does have some markings on his face, like war paint or something. Or not war paint, but like symbols on his face. And he has the couple...
Like a dollar sign. And
Yeah,
and
Bitcoin,
ampersand.
dollar sign,
Queen.
and he has 2 teardrops tattooed.
Yo.
I've had a rough life. Okay. No, but he's got 2 owl feathers that come out from his hair, and his hair is pulled back in like 2 braids, and he's got the deerskin pants and everything. You notice he's got a bow, the quiver of arrows on.
Let me down, let me down.
Yeah, he doesn't. None of them seem to be carrying firearms. You don't see any firearms, but he does have like a big knife, stone knife on his hip. And then the other 2 of them are female, and there's the other 3 are younger men. So, but it looks like the youngest one is probably late teens. There's a girl and a guy who are in their late teens, and the others are in between.
Are the females just traveling? Do they look like they're just...
They're actually armed as well with
Okay.
bows, and you see one of the girls has a tomahawk, but they all have kind of face paint markings, the decorations. It's not exactly war paint, but it is decorative.
Mm-hmm.
And they seem to be traveling, and you notice one of them seems to have one of the guys. The guy has 2 owl feathers. One of them has like a foxtail that's like braided into his hair that kind of hangs down over his shoulder, and that's kind of unusual.
Yeah.
So, and then that he has actual like ear jewelry in, and that's kind of unusual too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
I'll ask her to try to ask them what the symbolism is for the hair pieces.
well, what you get is basically he is a young shaman, and the owl is kind of he has a totem spirit, and the owl is like an enemy of his because in their culture, an owl sometimes symbolizes death. So it's not like, well, I'm wise. No, that symbolizes death.
Yeah.
And he's actually killed 2 owls in a ritual to prove himself as being fearless. So that's why he has those. The markings are kind of just decorative. The guy with the foxtail and the earrings, I think I'm pronouncing this right. Berdache? Berdache? Berdache. So I don't know if it's Berdake or Berdache.
What are you
Berdache.
talking?
Berdache? Is that it?
Berdache.
That's what they're called. And basically this is a guy, and he's a younger guy, who has shown that he is weak in battle, doesn't really get to talk to spirits too much. So the tribe no longer considers him a man. And they actually treat him as one of the women folk. And they tend to do this stuff themselves. And they're very respected because they're like the best craftspeople. And in their older years, they sometimes become like shamans. So a lot of the women, especially younger women, take to being braves. And nowadays it's not uncommon. If they can fight, get in here. So that's what you're encountering is a scouting party. They're just kind of going out. They were hunting and gathering today, and at night they kind of walk the area to make sure there's nothing bad going on, and then they go back to their camp and report, and then another group will go out tomorrow night. And they saw your campfire and were like, okay, you're kind of on our turf. We better find out. And they actually stood and watched you for like 20 minutes before you even saw them.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, just sitting around. And then they stood up to wait for you to notice them. And it's kind of like the Norse thing.
Yeah.
They stood up to give you the courtesy to see them.
Make sure they're not dead.
Yeah.
Ghosts.
Make sure they're real.
Right.
So it's like, oh, okay. the guy with the owl feathers, he kind of chuckles when he says that because they're like, okay, well, let's stand up. We're over here. Okay, my God, these guys are not a threat.
Right.
So they were kind of laughing about that because they were like, oh, we stood up, but you never noticed. So they were like, we'll just wait.
Do any of them speak Spanish?
No.
Okay.
No, they do not.
I do try, but
You tried.
Yeah, de español, señor.
Yeah.
well, I mean, offer them food, so
No,
they don't have
I'll
to join
offer them
us.
cups of coffee.
Yeah, if you do, they kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I beat her to it.
And
Through Lydia, try to have him ask him if there's anything they're aware of dangers during for our journey down the canyon.
Many day and day.
Yeah, basically like
Speak slower and louder.
Slower and louder, that always works.
they signed to Sophie. Is he kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's dangers in the canyon. There's
Look for round eyes, white skin, very bad.
they mentioned something called they refer to as canyon crawlers. They also refer to what would they call them?
Canyon crawlers are those the big spiders that we saw before?
Something like that, as they describe them. They're kind of a cross between a spider and a scorpion.
Okay.
They're about as big as a person, and they tend to hide up under outcroppings and then drop on you.
Yay! Yay. Important safety tip. Thanks, Ray.
Yeah, they talk about beetles.
The Beatles?
Yeah, the Beatles.
Ringo.
There's 4 of them.
Oh,
I
Ray.
never remember the
Tom.
drummer's name though. But he was in a movie.
Ringo Starr.
He was in a movie
It's Ringo
called Caveman.
Starr.
That was pretty. No, they talk about beetles, and when they describe them, they sound like the Beatles, the sickle beetles in town.
Oh.
And then at one point, one of the girls is like,
Touchdown?
bigger.
Bigger than
There
normal.
are some bigger beetles that are the same thing, but they're about this big around.
Oh.
Oh, it's the ones that eat creatine. Nice. They're getting swole.
Ask them if they know about the gentleman we're actually after.
Yeah, I sign to them if they've seen any people that might be dressed kind of like me, all in black. And
They haven't seen anyone like that.
actually, I'm not dressed in black, but
You describe them.
yeah,
Looks
Yeah.
like this with a big red cross.
yeah, maybe the collar.
Yeah. They haven't seen anybody like that. But they do warn you of what they refer to as the laughing men. The laughing men are about very mean. And there are something they call the small night men. And they are very, very mean and dangerous, especially if there are many of them. Or they're elders.
While we're talking, do they ever talk actually in their language?
Yeah, they do.
I try and
They talk to each other in their language, but whenever they talk to you, they try and use sign because they understand.
I use sign language after a while.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
doing.
I'll pick
you're
up
doing
and I'll
both.
start talking to them.
Okay. So, yeah, as you start talking to them, they're like, how did you learn our language? You're the 13th warrior.
I've got gab.
Yeah.
How do you learn our language?
It was a
I
character
listen.
decision.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good character. So, yeah, by the time this evening chat is done, yeah, you're kind of like starting to pick up on the Navajo language, or at least that one. It's like, oh, okay. So, yeah, you can actually start conversing. And the one with the owl feathers, every once in a while, will kind of smile, hold up his hand, and say the word correctly. And, like, pointedly, like, teach you.
Yeah.
So, he's very helpful. So, you'll say something a little bit wrong, and he kind of says it.
Again.
He
for
knows
me.
what you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
Hava supai.
I will never get that one right.
Hava,
But I ask him have
Hava Nagila.
so, but they say they've never met them, or
They've never gone down that far to meet them, but
Okay.
their parents may have, and maybe their elders have probably talked to them.
are they considered to be friendly, or
They can be. They usually kind of standoffish,
okay?
but they're not warlike.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but these two tribes don't.
No,
Have
they don't really have a problem.
conflicts.
But they also just don't tread on each other's ground. But there's no problems between them.
Do they know of any ways that would broker quick peace?
Well, like I said, they're just kind of a standoffish.
I mean, is there anything that we could do or bring that would say, hey, that they might look upon friendly and
This necklace.
yeah,
Yeah, if you're talking to the Havasupai, show them that necklace. But as far as the Navajo, not really. They'll just
Okay.
be like, oh, you spoke to the neighbors.
okay,
They do tell you to watch out if you encounter Apache, because there are Apache through here. They're kind of riled up, especially
Yeah.
because you're white. So they might not take to that. So if you see any Apache Indians, watch out. And they usually, you can tell because they carry guns.
yeah,
And they tell you that they follow the old ways. So if you know anything about the Native Americans, the old ways vow their shamanistic powers are stronger because they don't use technology.
yeah. Cobb probably doesn't really know that, but he'll probably talk to him about it.
And Sophie would know that, and she kind of explains what that is.
Well, any of them?
I
there
might
a
know
shaman
something
or
about
priest
that.
of this group.
The one with the two owl feathers is a shaman.
Well, I tell him, I says, tell him I have a sense of things. I feel something upon that necklace. Is that something they might be able to tell?
He says there is something, but he doesn't know the story. But there is something special about that necklace. He can sense it.
I do too. So,
So,
all right, I didn't
and-
know.
Probably after he reveals that he's a shaman, Bruce and
Bruce.
Sophie start talking to him, and he kind of has a really ooh, you're a shaman. And, he explains how things work in Australia. And you notice Owl Feathers is kind of like, oh, you're a shaman? And it's kind of like, as he's explaining it, he's like, you're a shaman. You are a shaman. And he's talking about the differences. And this Indian is like, what? That? I've never heard of such a thing.
Oh, there's
If
another
you believe
land.
in that belief, then you are one of us. You are a shaman. And they're basically kind of like very respectful to Dr. Smith. And you'll notice that they tend to talk to, especially the one with the foxtail. They're like, once they find out he's a shaman and he kind of proves it, they're like, whoa, never met a white shaman that's interesting. And he talks about how the shamans down in Australia are black.
All right.
One of the females that has a
Tomahawk.
I'd like to get her attention and point to the tomahawk. And
Oh, yeah, she looks at
Bash
She looks
him
at
on the head.
yes,
Owl Feathers, and he kind of like. So she gets up and she,
I would have done it this way because I'm a knife thrower. So.
yeah, she'll kind of show you how to throw a tomahawk. So,
Well, I'll throw a knife.
oh, she kind of like nods, and then tomahawk.
Knife.
Knife.
Pistol.
Tomahawk.
So you guys can actually spend a little bit of time. She'll
I would-
teach you
yeah.
let you try throwing a tomahawk, teach her how to throw a knife. So,
Yep.
so if you have bounty points when we spend them, you can actually get a point or two in tomahawk if you want.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys kind of share peace pipe and coffee and learn a little bit from them. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Okay.
They probably after a while, and they stay for a while. Unless you kick them out, they're going to be there for a couple hours because they're like, "Oh, this is interesting."
Yeah.
You notice Two Feathers is looking across at you at one point. You're listening to the conversation or whatever, and you notice he's kind of looking at you.
Okay. I look over at him. Tip my hat.
He's like,
Oh yeah, I
he
guess we
signed
could ask their
something.
names.
he signed something, and Sophie transcribes it or translates it as,
Second spirit.
you have a dark aura.
Well, that's interesting.
Have you lost someone
Well,
who
doesn't
is
matter.
still with you,
Yes.
but not now?
No, I lost them a while ago.
The spirit follows you,
Yes.
but less.
Yes.
Your aura is very dark.
Would that cause that to become darker?
Your aura is dark because of that. If your aura continues to darken, you will find you take great risks to rejoin that spirit. If that is your path, do not travel it lightly.
All right. Thank you.
But if you choose that path, you may be reunited.
Yeah, so now you can buy that
No
in.
matter how dark it
Making
gets.
you cry. Making me cry.
Thank you for your information. I'll take that into consideration.
And you notice he kind of looks over at Copperhead and he looks and he's like, or you follow him. Copperhead's like, what are you talking about? And he's like,
Don't tell me mambo jumbo.
What you talking about?
other spirit at rest. He remembers, but goes on. You may remember and not if you travel that path. And he kind of points at both of you. Same but different. Copperhead's just like, okay, yeah, that's it.
Me next. Me next.
So was he speaking in,
You suck
in
at
English?
magic.
So was he speaking in English?
Yeah, he was. No, he wasn't speaking
Yeah, sounds
English,
like
but he was
indigenous
speaking.
humor to me.
He was speaking through.
And some of it was sign. Like Sophie was translate because he was doing sign, but he
Okay.
was talking at the same time,
Okay.
probably for your benefit.
Okay.
So he was signing so she could translate it, but then he was speaking
Excuse me.
Navajo so you could get the words.
Okay. Which one was this?
Two feathers.
feathers.
Or owl feathers.
All feathers.
Okay.
Yeah, did we find out their names?
Oh, yeah. The Berdache is foxtail. He calls himself Foxtail.
Yeah.
One of the girls is probably
Could have just went with Foxy.
yeah. One of the girls is probably Stalks at Night. The other girl is Running Bear. And then there's the two Outriders, you notice, are named Brush and Wind and Broken Branch. Foxtail notices you, and he kind of like,
Yes.
not shaman.
No.
And he says it in Navajo, but he signs it too. Not shaman.
Yeah. I've been trying to watch what they've been doing with sign language too, just so I can maybe learn it too.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yep. Copperhead's probably been trying, but he's not much of a learner. But he's picking up on it too, because he's like, that could be helpful. Because if I get wanted in the South, I'm gonna have to live here. Because I'll have to hide out in the Grand Canyon. So, but yeah, he's like, not shaman.
No. Huckster. Try and control the Manitou.
He kind of looks at you like,
It don't work all the time.
risky.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I signed behind him. Stupid.
Foxtail actually laughs.
Yeah, risky. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yes.
Kinda like-
Stupid. Scalp has no value.
Nice one.
So he laughs and he's like, pretty much he asks, do you rely on it a lot? The Manitou?
Unfortunately, yes, but I'm trying to do better. We fight such big things, powerful things. I try to do with my power.
Copperhead kind of jumps in and he's like, oh yeah, the last fight we were in was a big demon, monster, magic. And he kind of guns. And Foxtail looks at you. Guns.
Oh my gosh, I know.
And he kind of smiles. Manitou's very tricky,
Yes, it is.
but he kind of like,
Kind of like a drinker. I'm aware of it, and maybe it takes steps to get away from it. You know what I mean? I'm aware now that the path it leads more than I ever was. Before I saw it as
Admitting you have a problem is the
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
step.
Foxtail actually holds up the peace pipe too much.
too much. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Before I thought it was a tool for me to use, and now I realize it is a tool using me.
Be strong.
I try to be. I have good faith with the good Lord, thanks to Father Cobb, and show me ever my ways more than one.
He actually goes, his God will not help. Nature, spirits, be strong.
Well,
Don't believe him. It's just propaganda.
maybe they're all.
And here's where the
same.
war starts.
Here we go. The devil. The devil.
Maybe they're all in the same, in a way.
He kind of non-committally, well, if you say so.
We gotta
Gun.
agree.
Let's agree to disagree.
After a while, that's
Actually, I probably will kind of talk to him. You know, the spirit, the spirit of God and faith and everything like that, and actually kind of talk to him a little bit about that.
You notice Foxtail is very kind of, he knows about it. He understands it. But it's like he would have points in theology.
Yeah.
So you talk about your God, he talks about the ancestor spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll concede things about your God, but he follows the ancestor spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you would concede things about his spirits, but you follow your God.
Yeah.
So you guys are on that even playing ground. And it's actually
Got
interesting
your
because
three little gods. We have all of these.
yeah, you have one guy.
Well,
You have 70,000.
You have a church.
we have-
They walk
have
amongst
saints.
their church.
We got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
That's it,
See,
three.
Even
And all
though
the
it's
saints.
monotheistic. Think about this.
And all the saints.
Yeah.
we got saints.
see. Okay, he's Catholic.
Saints.
Yes.
Thunderbird.
Saints football team.
Saints. Atari.
Sorry. No, he actually, it's not a debate, but he's kind of like really happy to talk to you about beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, the Indians, the Navajo, basically kind of belly full, home, tired.
I'll tell them to really watch out for those other 4.
They will.
Really bad.
They tell you watch for
Everything.
We'll watch for those guys. You watch for everything. Falling rocks, pink rattlesnakes, kind of friendly, unless they bite. So they kind of move on
Okay.
and to go back into the night. Obviously, say well met kind of thing as a fair journey, whatever they would say.
I would have.
Don't get bitten. Watch out for snakes.
Before they leave, the woman teaches me the tomahawk. I don't know if she was running bear or.
Yeah, that was Running Bear.
Okay.
Yeah, she's running barefoot.
I would
She's built
ask
to
her
fight.
name, find out
Yeah.
her name, and then tell her my name, Lillianne,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of do a brule sign.
Yeah, when you do that, she kind of like, oh. Like she recognizes it. And she says, tribe? She kind of says, yeah,
Family
connection.
connection.
And she basically goes to give you like one of those warrior grips where they grip your forearm. And she does that.
So I will, Lillianne, brule, and sign my brule name.
Okay. And she kind of like, well met. And when she leaves, they all go to turn. She actually pauses, turns around, picks out one of the tomahawks from her belt, and hands it to you. And as you
got
take the
nothing.
tomahawk, she kind of like points to one of your knives and smiles.
Trade.
Yep.
Trade.
Trade.
It's
And
good.
say,
Gives you the warrior handshake again. Kind of a very good. And they walk off into the night.
Anytime you got a tomahawk.
Yeah, tomahawk, man.
Yeah, I gotta know. I definitely
And we will stop there.
Okay.
time to
Yay.
rise and shine with the rapids tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, well, that's it for us tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Again, we are the Raconteurs. Thank you to Pinnacle for putting out Deadlands.
Yeah.
If you are interested in buying this game, you can go to our YouTube channel on this video or other videos of Deadlands Classic, and there's a link to the Pinnacle website to buy this game.
Yes.
You go right there, buy it online, have it shipped to you. Let them know the Raconteur Society sent you, and they'll probably go, who? But anyway.
Yeah. Oops.
Unlike some of the games we played, this one is still in production.
Oh yeah.
Albeit a different name. The new version of Deadlands is Deadlands Reloaded for Savage Worlds. It uses the Savage Worlds rules. What we are playing is Deadlands Classic. So it's a little out of print, but you can still find it.
You can get all the PDFs.
Yeah. And Pinnacle website has a file you can download for free that shows you how to convert Savage Worlds to Classic and Classic to Savage Worlds. So you can do that too.